Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sport Show right here on Smash FM here on a Saturday here in Melbourne. Of course, let's go to our friends over in Adelaide in particular. Of course, only 2 weeks ago today, actually, it was the Under-18 National Championship gold medal clash between SA Metro and Vic Metro. And, of course, for South Australia in particular, they got the job done by 8 points against the Vic Metros here in Melbourne, here at Eagle Stadium. And, of course, we've got 3 very special guests joining us right now from that championship team to tell us all about it. Thanks all you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
I'll get each of you to introduce yourselves and tell us which SA clubs you're all from.
So I'm Jess Simons and I play at the Forestville Eagles Basketball Club here in Adelaide.
I'm Katie Rowe and I play for the Sturt Sabres Basketball Club here in Adelaide.
I'm Mia Walker-Roberts and I also play for Sturt Sabres here in Adelaide.
Tell us a bit about the Under-18s National Championships here in Melbourne and especially the amazing run that you've had in the last, it was 6-7 days here in Melbourne.
Yeah, it was a great tournament and by the end of the week I think we're all pretty tired and ready to go home, but it was great to just keep getting those wins and it kept us up and upbeat and made us all closer as a team.
I think that the week went actually really quick because we were there for 10 days and it was good being in the environment with the team for the whole time. And of course it was stressful and like scary at times, but I think being with the whole team and the coaches and everything really made it like feel like safe and at home kind of.
Yeah, I think we all really got on well off court as well, which really helped us on the court as well. And so we just had a great week away all together. So definitely off the court, like just getting along really helped us. Like on the court, we just glued together and everything went really well for us.
Now, I had a chance to speak to your 2 team captains earlier this week, and they mentioned that the defining moment they felt, the most defining moment that really, got you confidence to win the whole thing was against Queensland South and Vic Country. Is that how all 3 you felt as well?
Yeah.
I would also say against SA Country because they're like our state rivals and we had also played them in Adelaide and it was a hard game, so we knew that always a derby against the other team from your state is always going to be hard. So that was probably my defining moment, but also, kicking Vic Country and beating Queensland South twice felt pretty good.
Yeah, I think definitely Queensland South in the semi really got us all hyped and for the grand final, like let's just win this, like we've come this far, and that really got us upbeat winning that game. Yeah.
I also my favorite game was the Vic Country game. I thought like we were all so nervous and then we just like came out there and absolutely smashed it. And I think that game for me was like the highlight. I love that game.
Now, I believe your semi-finals was, funny enough, Queensland South, that you versed already in the prim rounds as well. Was it a little bit, I guess, strange for the fact that you have to verse them again before you get to the grand final versus Vic Metro? And I guess how nervous were you knowing that they pretty much know your game plan and the way that you've played already?
Yeah, I think we're all pretty nervous for that game, especially because like everything was on the line. That was to get into the grand final. But I think because we also played them already, we had a better scout and we scouted them really well. And as well, they did scout us well, but we moved the ball and got the ball through hands, which everyone in our team can contribute. And I thought we did that really well.
Yeah, I think the same. Since we played them first round of the whole tournament, we didn't really have a scout. We just went out and played and like we knew them, but that was just based on, club games that already happened in the year. So I think playing them in the semi was like, I remember I was really nervous because I knew it was like the ride or die. Like we either make the grand final or we're going for bronze. But I think that we all got together and bonded, especially for that game, and followed the scout and everything.
Yeah, I think, definitely playing teams twice is really hard because like we bet them once only by a small margin and then we were like, oh no, like now we have to do it again. So we decided to really focus, and now this time we had a good scout, so we knew that we could do it, and yeah, we did the job. So
out of the 3 teams that were remaining, 4 teams that were remaining, including yourself, was there, out of the other 3, was there one team that you were more nervous about if you had to verse them in the gold medal clash?
Personally, I would be more nervous if we had to play Queensland South, because I feel like they have a more broader like range of players, and I think they'd probably a better matchup. Whereas when we played Vic Metro, we were like, okay, we shut down this player and we shut down this player, and we play our game, and like we'll get the win. So I think, but still, obviously in 2019 or 18 in under 16s, we got smashed by Vic Metro in the grand final. So it was kind of round 2. So.
Yeah, I definitely think Queensland South, it was a great matchup for us. And I think they were our hardest game because just they had so many alike players and we had to shut down, like Mia said, we had to shut down a few players. So, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think though Vic Metro, like we've like never really beaten them before, and you always have to beat a Vic Metro to win a gold medal. So I think like playing them in the gold medal match was like exactly what we were supposed to do, and so yeah, it was really good.
Let's talk about that gold medal clash. Yeah, versus Vic Metro on their home floor at Eagle Stadium. Now, I believe that was a pretty late game too. I think it was like a 5:30, 6 o'clock game or somewhere around there. How nervous was the wait on the day, and how good was it to beat Vic Metro on their home floor?
Yeah, the wait was very nerve-wracking. We're all so nervous, especially the night before, the sleep before. But I think we really prepared ourselves. We got together as a team. And like Katie said before, we really bonded off the court, so that especially helped us in the grand final, especially when things got tough. But beating them on their floor was no better feeling. Like we hadn't beaten a Vic Metro before, so that was probably the best feeling ever.
Yeah, I think that the whole day before the grand final, we kind of were just like, what are we doing? We have a grand final tonight. Like, do we have to do anything different? But the whole week, our team was so superstitious. Like, we had moments like everything we did was just, okay, we did it the game before and we won, so we have to do it again. So we just stuck with our daily routine. Like, we had a training, and I think from what I remember, a couple courts over, Vic Metro were actually training before us, and they like had to walk past and everything. So it was kind of just like tension already before the day had even started. But I think that because we stuck to everything we knew we could do, we ended up, playing an amazing game.
Yeah, but going back to being superstitious, so we're all so nervous. So the whole week we all wore our hair the exact same for every single game. So we were like, in the grand final, everyone has to wear their hair exactly the same. We're not changing anything. So I think the week before we were just we're really nervous, but we kind of just took it as any other game. Like, we weren't gonna get scared because it was a Vic Metro. We were just gonna do our normal stuff, and then we got the win. So yeah.
Well, Jess answered my question I was going to ask later on about superstitions, so I'll leave that one when we get to that. But now, how good was it to have a huge crowd? And I'm assuming most of them would have supported SA Metro, because I'm assuming everyone would have got sick of seeing Vic Metro winning. But how good was it to have that backing with all the other states and all the other teams, other than Victorians? And especially, I know the game was on KO as well, which I'm assuming you would have got some great support from back home in Adelaide. How special was it?
Yeah, it was so special, especially everyone supporting us in the crowd, our parents obviously being there, but also all the other states, our boys, SA Country, just all getting around it. And I think that really lifted us up. And when things got tough during the game, it really brought us together, and we had a purpose to win it as well. And yeah, everyone back home watching it all got around it too. And yeah, I think they loved it as well.
Yeah, normally it's known for like SA, like our parents aren't the loudest. They're not like Vic, they're not like any of the Vic teams. They don't have matching tops or like horns and everything. But this time I remember we were driving past as we're about to park, and all of our parents were at the front of the stadium, and they were all in red and they all had horns and like whatever, waving stuff around. And I think that moment for me like really brought it up, and I was like, okay, like I'm gonna, like, we can win it for them as well as ourselves. And we also had our team manager, had been the team manager for so many teams over the years and hasn't won a gold medal. And I remember saying to her that we'll win it for her. So I think that was also like a surreal moment, winning it for her. And yes, the crowd like made it a lot better and helped when the game got tough.
I think that a Vic crowd is always loud, like no matter what, they're always loud, and that can sometimes be intimidating. So I thought having our parents actual like dress up and be really loud with their horns, and then have like all the other states back us up, I think just the loud noise and everything really like made the adrenaline like pump, and we were just like ready for the game because we had all this like these people supporting us, and we were just like, that noise was just so good.
Now, of course, you end up winning by 8 at the end, 72-64. Now, tell us a bit about your two amazing team captains who we had on the show already early this week, in Taylor and Izzy.
So they did a great job the whole week, and especially in the grand final, they really clutched up and brought the team together. And just throughout the week, when things got tough and when we were struggling, they really brought us up, positive attitudes the whole week. And yeah, they did great for the team.
Yeah, I think they not only were they great captains on the court and used their experience somewhat to like motivate us as well, they were also great captains off the court, like not only being our teammate but also being like our good friends and encouraging us during the game, especially. Izzy especially like doesn't get angry like at all. So if I got angry on court, you know, she always calmed me down, which was great. And same with Taylor. And it was just, I think they did an amazing job being the captains of our team. And I just, yeah, they were great.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is they never got like angry at us, or like never like yelled or anything, which is like really important. I think, and like they always were really supportive of us, and like before every game they would like bring us all in to have our own little like team meeting without any coaches, and we'll just talk about things just amongst us girls, and we're like they would just like say a couple of encouraging words, tell us that we can do this, and like just really like motivate us. And so I think they did an amazing job, and especially on the court they did amazing. So yeah, they're really great.
Now, of course, they both scored over 20 points and almost a double-double in that game in the gold medal clash. But Jess, I need to ask you about your gold medal performance as well in that game. You got 16 and 6 in that game. Tell us, how do you think you went? And I believe you actually might have hit the free throws as well.
Yeah, so it was a big game. I was very nervous for it, but I think all of us contributed like exactly how we had to, whether that was rebounds, defense, and yeah, not much to say, just a great game.
How good was it when the final siren went? You looked up the scoreboard and you won the game. And now I know how the celebrations was like by watching all the photos afterwards. But how was it? A relief?
Yeah, it was a surreal moment as well. Just tears everywhere, and getting through the week with the best bunch of girls and pulling through, and the goal we had at the start of the week, like achieving it was just the best feeling. Yeah,
I think there was a moment in the game where I was on the bench for like the ending bit, and I remember one of the girls saying, okay, with like 10 seconds to go, we'll stand up. Because like I think there was a moment with about 2 minutes where we were like, we've got this, like we're on a roll, no one's taking this away from us. And it got to like a minute left, anything could have happened, but we were already standing up. I think we were all like, we've actually won. And before the even last siren sounded, like we were all on the court and we all just knew. And I think it was the greatest feeling, like just being together and jumping together. And like the crowd got so And I think that's when everyone from the crowd stood up, even people that weren't going for us, because like I remember ACT were cheering for us a lot, which like actually meant a lot because, you know, they're not even from SA and we beat them. So, but yeah, no, it was one of the best feelings.
Yeah, I remember looking up at the shot clock and it was like 4 seconds left, and I just remember we all just started, like, we just knew we had won, so we all just went on the court and were jumping around. I think just when you're just jumping around in that circle, that was just like the best feeling ever. Like, we have done it. We have been training for months and we have finally done it, and I think that is just like one of the best feelings in the whole world. That is just an amazing feeling.
Now I can see you got your medals around your necks, which I'll get all three to show it to us. There they are. Now the question I'm going to ask all three is, how long did you wear your medals around your necks for afterwards? And did any of you sleep with it before you came back to Adelaide?
We left it on the whole night when we got back to our accommodation, and the whole day and flying home, but I didn't sleep with it on here in Adelaide, took it off. But yeah, for pretty much the next day and a bit, we all left it on.
Yeah, no, I remember we had it the whole time over the boys' grand final. We kept it on. We went out, got KFC, kept it on, wore it. I didn't wear it to sleep that night, but I definitely wore it at the airport. Showed it off to all the Victorians at the airport. And also probably took it off when I got home, showed the rest of my family. But, you know, it's been on my bedside table ever since. So, yeah.
Yeah, I remember just like wearing it basically from the moment we got it until we got home the next day. So we were all wearing it. Like we didn't even have to ask each other. We were all just wearing it because we were just so proud of it. Like, it doesn't matter. We weren't embarrassed. We were just like, we're just going to wear it. Like, we just did that. So we should wear it. And yeah, and same with me. Like Mia said, it's literally right next to me when I sleep. So something to be proud of.
Now, I have to ask, now I know that the team went to KFC after the grand final. Now, I actually didn't ask Izzy and Taylor this question, which I'm going to actually ask all three now. Did you get any special discount?
I think so. Probably not, no.
Oh.
No. If we were Vic Metro winning the gold medal, we probably would have got given discount, but they probably weren't happy that we just beat their own state. So,
now tell us a bit about your championship coaching staff.
They were all great throughout the week. Catherine got us through the week, and all of the assistant coaches, so Morgan, Tom, Tegan, they all did a great job of scouting, especially. So I think each game we were ready, we knew our matchup, and they knew everyone's strengths and weaknesses, and we played accordingly to them. And especially Tegan, she's always the loudest on the bench, and she's always getting us hyped before games and keeping us up, which I think was a great part of the tournament.
Yeah, the coaching was pretty outstanding. Like Catherine, I know throughout all the months leading up to the tournament, she really pushed us and really encouraged us, and because she knew that we could you know, take the whole tournament out, and especially not having Izzy in Adelaide as she's at the AIS, she really motivated the rest, like the other 9 of us, to keep going. And like Izzy kind of bonded straight in, but like we all knew that like we have to do just as good as well. And I think that it wasn't only Catherine, it was like Tegan on the bench and Morgan and Tom scouting every game, Tom getting footage of the other team, showing us their play, showing us their key players. And Morgan really bonded with us. I think Morgan was the coach that really, we saw her side of the coach's view, kind of like when they were being extra strict, of course we would complain about it, but Morgan would make us understand why they're doing that. And I think they all had a special part, and yeah, it all really helped.
Yeah, definitely. Our coaches were amazing. Like some nights I know that like Tom and Morgan would have to stay up like past midnight because they were just scouting for us. Like and that's like a big commitment. So we're very thankful for them. Yeah, and Catherine's amazing. Like she just got us through the whole week and like months and months of training. Like every training was amazing. Like she just knew what we had to do, and we got it done. And so yeah, and then Tegan, as Jess said, is like always loud on the bench, which is really good for us because we definitely thrive off of like being loud on the bench. When we're loud on the bench, we do well on the court. And so I think Tegan played an amazing role as well. Yeah.
Now, how did all you get involved in basketball, and why did you choose it?
So my parents both played together when they were younger and have coached ever since, both at Forestville. So I practically just grew up around it and was always at my sister's games and just wanted to be a part of it. So joined when I was about 4 or 5 and I've loved it ever since.
Yeah, similar to Jess, not my parents, but my sisters. I have 3 older sisters, and we've all taken part in basketball. And it was the year that my sister, who's like 5 years older than me, moved to Sturt that I could start because we were at a different club. But I've grown up around basketball. Like my sister played, it was called ABA at the time, but now NBL1. And she played that, and now my sister plays that. Like it was just the whole environment of basketball always being surrounded by that. Like I always wanted to do it, and I think I've always enjoyed it, and there hasn't been a day that basketball hasn't been in my life, so it's kind of just normal.
Unlike Jess and me, my mum was a netballer and my dad was a footballer, and I'm the oldest, so there was no basketball in my family really. And so I just remember coming home from school one day, like probably in reception, and I just said to my parents, like, I want to give basketball a go. And then I remember like starting at like an Aussie Hoops program at Sturt Sabres. So I've been there like my whole life, and I started when I was about 5, and then I went to under 10s, and then I played throughout my whole career. So that's how I began to play basketball.
So, well, it sounds like all you have siblings that play the sport. So the question I want to ask is, who's the better basketball player?
For me, definitely my sister at this point. So she's 21, and we're both different on the court, but she's been at college, Australian teams, and done it all, now playing NBL1 here. So yeah, she's a great player and someone I aspire to be like.
Well, the situation in my family is there's only 2 of us actually still playing basketball, but my parents always say we've all played different. Like older sister was a tall, skinny point guard, fast runner, good shooter, whereas my sister Zoe and I, we love defending, and we're more of a defensive threat than offensive threat. But I have been told I'm the better basketballer, but I'm not yet to believe it, and I still think Zoe, who's currently playing NBL1, is the more aggressive basketballer, but that might just be experience, but we're not sure. So it's around a draw, I guess.
Well, for me, I have a younger brother, but he's only 2 years younger than me. So when we were younger, I was clearly the better basketballer. But now that he's gotten like he's like shot past me, so he's way taller than me and like more athletic than me. It's pretty like he gives me a good run for my money. But I still got better moves than him. So.
What does the sport of basketball mean to all 3 of you, and especially playing for your respective clubs and also representing your amazing state of South Australia?
It just means so much, especially like being around it my whole life. There's not a day where I haven't played basketball, and it's just a great distraction from everything that's going on in life, like schoolwork, everything. It just gets you away from the world, but it's just a great game and I love playing it. So
yeah, it's I think I do it for my family because of all like the money, the effort, the time and the sacrifices they've made for me to be where I am. And I do it for myself, but as much as I do it for them because of everything they do for me, and I know they're proud of me doing it. So I also do it for the experience, and I know that when I'm older, I'm not going to regret a bit of it, and I know I'll have stories to tell and memories that I'll still think of. And it's just, yeah, like Jess said, it's a distraction from everything outside of it. Like the friends we've made from basketball are going to last like a lifetime. So I think it's like an unforgettable thing.
Yeah, definitely. Like, so I played for Sturt my whole life, and so I have so many great friends there, and then just like being able to represent SA with them as well is amazing. So like, it's such an honor to be able to go out with all of my friends from all these different clubs and represent SA. It's been really good.
What would be your advice to people in SA that should get involved in basketball now that you are the national champions?
I think just give it a go and just enjoy it, have fun. As much as it can be stressful at times, just go out there, have fun. And the memories you make and the friends like that you create is just amazing and something you'll cherish for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I also think that although it's tough at times and, you know, sometimes you just like want to give up. You just can't be bothered going to training. You can't be bothered, you know, training every day for a whole 3 months. But it's all worth it at the end of the day because, you know, even if you don't win, you still have all these amazing memories. And like that girl talked to us over the tournament when we were out for dinner, a previous SA state basketball player, I don't remember her name, but she told us that she still, like, she remembers not necessarily the wins, but just the things that, like, just the memories with the friends and the coaches and that feeling, and that she can like bring on to other people. And I think that even though when the going gets tough, you have to just keep going because at the end of the day, it's all worth it.
Yeah, definitely. Similar to what Mia said, like sometimes it's so hard, and that especially the lead up before going to a national championship, it's like so much training. But and like there were some days where like I just like was so tired and like training was like felt so hard to go to. But like at the end of the day, we just won a gold medal, and so I think it really pays off. And even if you don't win, like going away, like when we went away 2 years ago and we didn't win, we still had the most like amazing time together, and we had so much fun even though we didn't come away with the result we wanted. So yeah, advice I would give to people is just give it a crack, and even if it's hard, you'll have amazing friends and memories out of it. So yeah.
Now, I believe that Sturt and Forestville are the two biggest rivalries in 18s. Now, I believe that you've recently played a grand final sometime this year, or recently at least. Now, now I believe to Taylor and Izzy that it's been pretty even between the two teams. Is that correct?
Yeah, definitely. There's always a rival between us and always tension before the games. We're all great friends between Forestville and Sturt, the under 18 group, but out on the court, we definitely get a bit mad and there's a lot of tension. But yeah, the most recent one, Sturt won, did they?
Yeah.
Sturt won the most recent one, but we're hoping to get them this season. So.
Well, yeah, ever since I've joined Sturt from domestic basketball and before under 10s, it's always been Forestville have always been our biggest rivalries. My sisters have always hated it. They've said I'd move to any club other than Forestville. And I'm sure Forestville feel the same about Sturt, you know. I think it's good having that, you know, arch nemesis, like so close as well. And like Jess said, we are close off the court, but on the court we hate each other's guts and we just want to win. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. But I've always hated Forestville as a club, but just not the people in it.
Okay.
Yeah, probably same. I mean, I was kind of thinking that Forestville to me is like kind of like a Vic Metro in a way. Like you can't like play a tournament without like and get gold without beating them. So they're kind of like a really good rivalry. So like when like we love each other off the court, as everyone has said, but like on the court, it's just each person for their own. Like we just want to win. So we just they're kind of not our friends on the court, but after we love each other. So yeah.
All right, now I can sense that rivalry between the two. Now, who had the most embarrassing moments on the court during nationals, and what was it? And I'm assuming this would have been caught on camera too.
I think definitely Katie. The stuff she does on and off the court is just... Anyway, but there was one video, especially we were all losing it. We were watching our game tape, and she was coming onto the court doing some stretches, some dance moves.
That's right.
And everyone loved it, but she was the clown of our group, so everyone laughed at her. So
yeah, I think at that point, Katie kind of forgot that it was being filmed. Like, our physio Hyson gave us this weird stretch we've never done before and this weird exercise, and I think it was quarter time or after the timeout that Katie just came on and was just moving her legs in weird positions, and it was when we got back, we rewatched it, and it was just hilarious.
I honestly, it did not even occur in my head that it would look weird or that I was on film. I just went on the court and I was like, I just need to stretch out my hamstrings for a second. So I just decided to flick my legs up, and then later on when we watched it, it looked very embarrassing and I looked a bit silly. So yeah.
Yes, that one definitely got mentioned by Tally Nizzy as well. So who was the comedian, the best singer, the best dancer in the team, or just into their TikToks?
I reckon Katie and Awar were both the comedians. They made everyone laugh no matter what. They actually had a competition about who's funnier, and they're still arguing over that one. But I think my room especially, so my room was me, Izzy, Katie, Paige and Awar. We very much got into the TikToks and our dancing, and so that's what we did in our spare time.
Everyone says Awar's pretty funny, but personally I think Katie was the comedian. Just definitely Awar and Katie were the comedic duo, but I think Katie takes another gold for that, because I don't know, Katie was always, if we had a bad game or something, Katie would just bring the whole energy of the group up. And I think it was also, you could call her the best dancer for that little dance move she did on court. But yeah.
Well, I feel like it's rude to say that I'm the funniest. So I think we kind of established that Awar was really good at like saying one-liners. So we'd just be walking and then she would say one thing that was just like really funny. Whether I'm more tell a story that's funny, that kind of thing, where I can't really think of things straight away to be funny like Awar does. So we kind of just settled on that. Personally, I think I'm the best singer in the group, but that's just me. Probably because I'm the only one who likes to sing freely in front of everyone without any embarrassment. Okay, a little bit embarrassment, but not too much. And then definitely, as Jess said, my room, me, Jess, Awar, Paige, and Izzy. Definitely, we got in the TikToks, which was really funny. So yeah.
And up from the TikTok just a moment ago, did you do a championship TikTok dance?
No, I don't think we did. I mean,
actually, at KFC we did lots.
You what?
At KFC we did lots.
Yeah, me and Taylor did one together. I think Mia and Awar did one together. We all did kind of our separate ones. We didn't do one all together.
I just remember getting to KFC and as we're waiting for our food, everyone just kind of just got out their phones, and I think there was I probably have 10 drafts in my TikTok drafts with TikToks with Awar and Paige. But I just remember everyone doing them. But no, we just didn't do one all together.
So what was the best TikTok dance then at KFC? I mean, it's a pretty unusual place to do it.
There was one that, what was the one that you guys, Jess, in your room did that everyone kind of kept doing? You, Jess, you, Katie, Awar, Paige, and Izzy all did one.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then,
I don't know what this. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. I don't know what it's called though.
no, but like all TikTok dances are kind of addicting. So like we'd all just like randomly start doing them.
Even when we didn't have our friends, we'd all just start doing TikTok.
Yeah.
So did you try to convince your coaches to join the TikTok dance?
No, I think we were a bit scared of what they'd have to say.
So did now was there a particular pump up song to hype the team up before a game?
We had a few. So we'd have like our queue in Spotify. So we had our last one before going into the stadium was Where Have You Been by Rihanna. And everyone got around that and just screamed at the top of their lungs. We also had Somebody to You by Vamps, which was a bit different, but and then
we had what's it called? The Mamma Mia one.
Oh yeah, we had Gimme Gimme by Mamma Mia.
Yes.
And then we played a bit of Dua Lipa in the change rooms while stretching and stuff. So it was kind of our superstition again. We had to play the same song, same cue every time.
Yep.
So I've got to ask this because I'm a big Mamma Mia fan. Who put in that song, the Gimme Gimme song?
Who was it? Was it Taylor?
Yeah, I think it was Taylor.
Yeah, it probably would have been Taylor because she was the one most invested in like singing the lyrics.
Yeah.
I wish I asked her that question now. Now I've got to finish up with this last two, which is now obviously with classics coming up here in Melbourne, hopefully next month. Am I assuming your teams are going to be coming down here to try to steal another championship from the Vics?
Well,
Yeah, so
that's the plan.
we have a qualifying tournament in 2 weeks. So I think you have to finish top 3 or 4 in that to come over, but hoping Forestville and Sturt will both make it and beat some Vics over there.
Now, we'll finish off with this two-part question. The first one is, now I know that we mentioned already that Sturt and Forestville are big rivalries on the court. So how can Forestville and Sturt combined as one play on the same SA team and do it together about that rivalry?
Well, I think off the court we're all like best friends. We all love each other. We've played against each other. So like me, Katie and Taylor have played against each other since we were 5 and 6. So we've all got that friendship, but I think together on the court, when we're combined and all our abilities are combined, we make a great team and yeah, we do well together. So
yeah, I think even though we're from rival clubs, we still somehow have a bond when we play and we know how each other's, like we know how we all play and we know how to read each other both defensively and offensively and can just read like what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, and that like helps because we have a lot of history with them as well. Like I play against and with them every second year, and me and Jess have like always known each other because our sisters played together, and I think it's also like somewhat chemistry, not in a weird way, you know. And yeah, so I think being from rival clubs didn't really stop us or change or influence our game in a bad way at all.
I think it's like even more exciting. Like it's like, oh my gosh, yay! I get to play with Izzy and Jess, and like because like I've never been able to do that before, and so we've been kind of like playing together since like we were like maybe even 12 or 13 when we had like our first kind of state kind of like tournament. So I think doing it since we were little and has definitely helped us now as well. But I think instead of not liking them, it was more exciting for me to play with them because I don't know, because like that, like I always get so scared to play against them, and now when we get to actually play with them, it's so much better. So yeah.
Now the last question, which I got Izzy and Taylor to answer the same question as well. Now, if you can remember your whole team off by heart in your SA Metro Championship team, tell us one by one how special were each of the players, or describe them, in other words.
Okay. So I'll start with Izzy. She was a great captain to us, and she just brought so much laughter and happiness because she's just a funny person without trying to be funny, and she just led our group so well. Taylor is just one of the nicest people, is nice to everyone, and she just loves everyone, and she's just a great person to be around, a great teammate to play with especially. Maddie Hinton, so I didn't know her very well, but getting to know her, she's such a nice person and a great player to play with as well on the court. And yeah, she brought a lot to our team off the court. She contributed very well and got along with everyone. Katie, being the comedian, the singer, the clown, she just brought us up. She's the positive person in our group, no matter what happens. So she was great to be around. Mia is always giggling and always laughing. So she was always a positive person and always brought the group up as well. And especially on the court with Scout and stuff, followed it exactly how it should be, and just defensively an amazing defender. Yaz, we hadn't like played together much, but she was kind of, I guess, the mum of the group, did a lot for our group and was always making sure everyone was okay. Paige, very I'd say dumb off the court. It's a joke, but we all love her. She's a great person and very funny without trying to be. Or just one of the funniest people you ever meet. Just her one-liners, just always making everyone laugh, and just being there for you and comforting you, I guess, and having some great stories. And Ellie, so I play with her at Forestville. She's just a great and kind person, and I think altogether our team got along really well and we all bonded great together. So it was a great week away together with different people who we haven't played with before.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here you
go. I think especially since our team had changed a little bit since under 16s, with Yaz, Maddie and Paige being brought in, I think that they meshed really well with everyone, and it was their first time going to like a state tournament like this, and especially since it got cancelled last year because of COVID, they really, Maddie and Paige especially, really, stood their ground and stepped up, being first years as well. And Paige was definitely the cutie of the group. Like, she was just the most adorable thing. And Yaz as well. Yaz is a bit more quiet, but me and her are a bit more close. Like, we always carpool together, and I think Yaz was definitely the mum of the group and was just doing a lot for everyone on and off the court. Like, even on the bench, so loud and supportive and kind.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to say then, I'll just describe Jess. I think, so obviously, like off the court, I've been friends with Jess for ages. And so we always like seem to be on the same team no matter what, other than obviously Sturt and Forestville. And it's like, I just like, she's really funny. We always have like great chats. And she's like, just like, I don't even know, like so nice and funny, and she says how it is, but like without being mean, obviously. And it's just like she's just a great person, and obviously on the court she never gets angry at you, and which is great. And she has an amazing, obviously, 3-point shot as well, so we can always rely on that. And yeah, she's just a really great person. And even though like she isn't a captain, I feel like she definitely has like lots of leadership skills that she uses, which is great.
Well, all three, thank you so much for giving up your time. As I mentioned, I wish I was there to watch you beat Vic Metro and to win that gold medal. I'm sure I'll get to see all you back in Melbourne again in about a month and a bit for the National Classics, as you should hopefully be stealing another championship off the Melburnians again. And let's hope it all goes well in the state. Of course, qualifications going for classics down here in Melbourne in 2 weeks, and hopefully can't wait to see your respective teams down here in about 6 weeks time.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
No worries, and that's the SA Metro under 18 girls, of course, national championship players there, of course, with a fantastic 8-point win over Vic Metro at Eagle Stadium about 2 weeks ago. There's more on the Smash Sport Show right after this. Don't go away here on the Saturday edition.